Alright, let's go ahead and change things up a little bit for Craig's birthday special as we get ready to play some games for the Sega Genesis. And let's go ahead and test my knowledge on Jeopardy for the Sega Genesis, shall we? Here we go. We have Tammy and Harold facing me this game. Let's see if we can win Craig a bundle. And let's also find out if the categories will be to my liking.
Here are the categories.
We have Admirals, the Funnies, Law, Art, we have Rock and Roll, and finally we're going to deal with Proverbs. Alright. We try to keep an eye on things. Admirals for 100. He was proclaimed Admiral of the Ocean Sea by Ferdinand and Isabella. Who is Christopher Columbus?
You are correct.
Admirals 200. Alright. Father of the American Navy turned down for Admiral because he became one in the Russian Navy. Who is John Paul Jones?
You are correct.
I'll have Admirals for 300. Appropriately named Admiral, who was the first to fly over both poles. Who is Bird? On my feet. Sorry.
You are correct.
Admirals 400. So I continue to get Craig the cash. He defeated a Spanish fleet of 10 ships at Manila without a single American life lost. Harold. No.
Sorry.
There's $400 going to Whammy Incorporated. Tammy. She will also give up $400 to Whammy Incorporated. So at this point in the game, Whammy Incorporated is getting $800 from Jeopardy for the Sega Genesis.
No, the correct.
The Admiral was George Dewey. George Dewey. Let's close it out for 500, please. Does father of the nuclear sub manage to serve 18 years beyond compulsory retirement age? Tammy. Oh, it's Hyman Rickover, so she'll get her first bit of cash, $100.
You are correct.
Alright, and Tammy, you have the next selection. Which category? Art for 100. The anatomy lesson of Dr. Tulp was this Dutch master's first large-scale portrait. Who is Rembrandt?
You are correct.
How about art for 200? And today the Daily Double. I have $700 at this point. How much of that money do I want to put at risk? Let's do it all. Here's the clue in art. Marcel Duchamp put a mustache on this famous portrait. What's the Mona Lisa?
You are correct.
Doubling my earnings while Craig's earnings to $1,400. Art for 300. King Tut's tomb door and Oriental ballet and Cubism led to this art style in the 1920s. What is, I have it between two of them, so I'm going to say what is, Art Nouveau. See if I'm right.
Sorry.
Nope, so I'm giving up $300 to Whammy Incorporated. which now means it's worth $1,100. That's how much Whammy Inc. is getting this game, $1,100, and that's how much I have right now, it's $1,100. Oh, Art Deco, the other one.
You are correct.
In my mind, I had a choice and I picked the wrong one. Tammy, your turn. Law for 100. An attorney named Schuster probably inspired this nickname for a dishonest lawyer. What's a shyster? Shyster. Alright. Oh.
You are correct.
That is right. Okay. Could we have, let's go back to art for 400, please. Somber Spanish artist famous for the 2nd of May and its sequel, the 3rd of May. Not too sure about this one, so I'm not going to buzz in. Let's see if Tammy knows it. Oh, Francisco Goya. Francisco Goya. Alright.
You are correct.
So you double your money, Tammy. $800. Where to? Law for 200. Justice is incidental to law and order, said this former FBI chief. Who is J. Edgar Hoover?
You are correct.
I'll stick with law for 300. Okay. There's the clue in that category. Civil law in France and Louisiana is based on his code. Who is Napoleon?
You are correct.
Let's have law for 400. Riparian rights pertain to the use of this substance. What is water?
You are correct.
Law for 500. Putting me over $2,000 now, $2,100 as a matter of fact. Last name of the learned judge who sat on the federal bench longer than any other. What is hand? Learned hand, yeah. Oh, wait, no, it's an N, not an O.
You are correct.
There we go, 2,600 ran the law category like it was nada. Let's have art for 500, please. To distinguish himself from his father, Bernardo Giovanni Canal signed his works this way. What is canaletto?
You are correct.
Yep. Let me have the funnies for 100, please. Sorry. This fat cat celebrated his 10th anniversary with a TV special in May 1988 on CBS. Who is Garfield?
You are correct.
Let's have the funnies for 200, please. In June 1988, she fell in love with Sluggo, but he was afraid to commit, so it only lasted a week. Fell in love with Sluggo. Who is Nancy?
You are correct.
That's right. Oh, okay. Let's have the funnies for 300. This creator of Steve Canyon died in April 1988. God, I don't know. Milton Caniff. Oh, okay.
You are correct.
Rock and roll for 100. These girls were a comic punk novelty act before they got the beat. Who are the Go-Go's?
You are correct.
Rock and roll trivia for 200. $3,500 at this point in the game. Waylon Jennings was once a member of this, Buddy Holly's backup group. Who are the Crickets?
You are correct.
Rock and roll trivia for 300. She was once a Beach Boy along with her husband, Daryl Dragon. Who is Tony Tennille?
You are correct.
She's the one. Let's have 400, please, for rock and roll trivia. Before Sarah Smile, they met by sharing an elevator to escape a gang fight. Who are Hall and Oates? Daryl Hall and John Oates, yeah.
You are correct.
Rock and roll trivia for 500. Year in the 1950s when the Beatles were formed. What is 1959?
You are correct.
Well done in that category, up to $4,900. Let's have the funnies for 400. He rules his legion fort with an iron fist, literally. Oh, I can never remember this one. Tammy? Oh, Vermin Croc. Oh.
You are correct.
I've never even heard of Vermin Croc, to be honest, so I'm not too worried about it. Proverbs for 100. When the cat's away, the mice will do this. What is play?
You are correct.
Proverbs 200. Up to $5,000 so far. As you made your bed, so you must do this. What is lie in it?
You are correct.
Proverbs for 300, please. Francis Bacon said, if the mountain will not come to him, he will go to the mountain. Who is Mohammed?
You are correct.
Proverbs 400. $5,500 in cash right now. Keep going. What's good for the goose is good for this creature too. What is the gander?
You are correct.
500, please. Proverbs. A bad workman quarrels with these. What are his tools?
You are correct.
Now the last clue before we go to Double Jeopardy. The last name of this comic strip couple is sometimes Flagston. I have a clue, but I think I'm going to hold back. Tammy? Wrong.
Sorry.
$500 being given to Whammy Incorporated. Which right now from this game, they're getting $1,600. Harold? Oh, High and Lois. Alright.
You
So I
are
have
correct.
$6,400. Tammy has $1,000. Harold has $100. And Whammy Inc. has $1,600. As we get ready to start playing the round of...
Double Jeopardy.
Right about now. Here we go. 2 daily doubles, and we have 6 brand new categories.
Here are the categories.
Psychology, foreign cuisine, dry up, notice the quotation marks, anatomy, automobiles, and finally, presidents. Alright. These seem like reasonable categories, so I'm going to start things off with anatomy for 200. You have 2 of these joints where an iliac bone unites with the sacrum. What is a sacroiliac?
You are correct.
Anatomy for 400. The main function of these teeth is biting. What are the incisors?
You are correct.
Anatomy for 600. Even with your eyes shut, you can tell which way is up from your sense of balance in this organ. What is the ear?
You are correct.
Anatomy for 800. Unlike your fingers, the thumb has only this number of phalanges. What is 1?
You are correct.
Anatomy for 1,000. Look at all that cash I'm racking up. Along with the tarsal glands, these other glands provide lubrication for the eyes. What are the lacrimal glands?
You are correct.
Well done in the anatomy category. Ran it all. Let's have automobiles for 200. Though thought of as an early car, it was built by the Stanley Twins Company until 1924. What was the steamer?
Troy.
$200 going to Whammy Inc. Tammy. Oh, I had to be more specific. The Stanley steamer. Oh well.
You are correct.
But Tammy trails me by $8,000, and that's a pretty big margin. Keep going. Yep, he and Clark Gable bought the only 2 SSJ Duesenbergs sold. Tammy. Oh, Gary Cooper. Alright.
You are correct.
Alright. Now we're to Tammy. In 1908, the Model K of this luxury car was the first to use standard parts. What is Rolls Royce?
Troy.
No, so another $600 going to Whammy Inc. What is going on? Right now, Whammy Incorporated is getting $2,400. Oh, Cadillac.
You are correct.
Alright. Psychology for 200. Oh, and he gets one of the 2 daily doubles. I know he's going to wager 1,000. He only has 700. He can risk up to 1,000. A bad one is biting your fingernails. A good one is calling mom once a week, and it's a habit. Harold now takes 2nd place. And where are we going? This type of trait is the opposite of a dominant one. What is recessive?
You are correct.
A psychology for 600, please. One who suffers from periods of depression alternating with periods of extreme excitement. What is a manic depressive?
You are correct.
Let's have psychology for 800, please. The common name for somnambulism. What is sleepwalking?
You are correct.
Psychology for 1,000. The ego resolves conflicts between this and the superego. What is the id?
You are correct.
Up to $11,400. Let's take automobiles for 800. In 1932, it was the first company to sell a low-priced car with a V8 engine. Tammy. Nope. Oh, I dropped my pen. So we have to add $800 to Whammy Incorporated's bank, which they now have $3,200. Harold? Oh, Ford. Oh, I drive a Ford. All right. Dry up for 200. George Jefferson's occupation. What is a dry cleaner?
You are correct.
How about dry up for 400? Ever Ready, Mallory, and Rayovac. What are dry cells?
You are correct.
A dry up for 600. English poet, author of Absalom and Achitophel. Who is Dryden?
You are correct.
Dry up for 800, please. Hey, Tiger. In the Bible, Ezekiel saw a valley full of them rise. What are dry bones?
You are correct.
Dry up for 1,000. Consisting of solid CO2, it contains no water. What is dry ice?
You are correct.
Automobiles 1,000. To conserve gas and rubber, this was the speed limit for much of World War II. What was 35 miles per hour?
You are correct.
Good for 1,000, up to over $15,000 now. Foreign cuisine for 200. The Coke in Coq au vin. What is chicken?
You are correct.
Foreign cuisine for 400, please. A British variety is called bangers. A Mexican variety, chorizo. What is sausage?
You are correct.
Let's have foreign cuisine for 600. Jewish crepe filled with cheese. What's a blintz?
You are correct.
Foreign cuisine for 800. Alright. A toothsome cut of beef served to a twosome and named for a French nobleman. What is Chateaubriand?
You are correct.
Foreign cuisine 1,000. A stew of various meats or a Jeopardy category. What is potpourri?
You are correct.
Well done in the category, over $18,000. President's 200. The answer is the other daily double. I have 18,400. There's nobody even close to me right now. I'll go 6,600. Alright, for an even $25,000, here's the clue in presidents. He held office 7 years after the founding of our country. Who is... I want to say who is Abraham Lincoln.
You are correct.
$25,000. 400. First president to win the Nobel Peace Prize, though he carried a big stick. Who's Theodore Roosevelt?
You are correct.
600. Seven of our first 12 presidents were from this state. What is Virginia?
You are correct.
Though born in Massachusetts, George Bush ran for president from this state. What is Texas? Oh, no, no. I have to give up $800 to Whammy Inc. Well, now they're at $4,000 this game. Let's see. What's going to happen next? Tammy? Nope.
Fine.
She'll give up her entire $800 and that'll go to Whammy Inc. How about... No, everybody gives up $800.
No, the correct
It was Texas, but I put an R instead of an S. Oh, well. Let's look at the last clue anyway. Portly president who set precedent by throwing out the baseball season's first ball. So everybody gave up $800 that time. Tammy, you have to get this right to stay in the game. And it will not happen.
Fine.
So she's giving up $1,000. Whammy Inc. now has $6,600. Harold will also give up $1,000.
Fine. No, the correct
It's
response.
William Howard Taft. So I have 25,200. Harold has 700. Tammy, bye bye. The category is history. I'm gonna stay right where I'm at. Batu Khan's Mongol Empire named for the color of his tent. I don't know.
No, the correct
The
response.
Golden Horde, but it doesn't matter. Craig's getting $25,200. So Harold gets $100. And I won the game with $25,200. Whammy Incorporated receives $7,600. And we will see you all for that next segment right after this.